been trying to go live for over an hour and a half. Now, I don't even know whether the stream's working, but let's try and hope that it's finally there. Or stone the crows. Or stone the crows. Okay. Good morning. Welcome to Scotty, Kayaks to Fish, Phil and Agent Cal Gibbs. I'm very sorry for the delay in the broadcast, as I've been trying to go live with Streamlabs for about an hour and a half. Okay. Firstly, a big shout out to our channel sponsor, Kayaks to Fish. Thank you very much for giving us the privilege of being one of two people in Australia to promote your wonderful Next Gen 11.5. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to angle the camera down at the front of the kayak, and I'm going to show you some of the features of this fantastic water vessel. Kayaks have come a long way. Well, the last time I bought one was 2010, it's now 2022. And the way they've developed in that time is just unbelievable. I'll give you an example. There's another brand of kayak in America that released the first ever kayak that sells for $20,000 US. So that's the sort of direction that they're going in. But thankfully, with this wonderful kayak that we're using today, you can have something here that does the exact same job for, I don't know, 1/6 the money, okay? All right, so what we'll do is I'm going to just put the phone down. Once again, I'm very, very sorry for the delay, but you know, it's just very frustrating doing in the moment content creation, because you can't get in the moment unless you've got your software working, which was the issue today. But anyway, enough of that. Let's just get on with the stream, okay? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to tilt this down like this. Just going to make sure that I've got the right angle. Right. Okay, now that is the wrong lens. Okay, that's better. Much better. Okay, we can even bring this back a bit further, and that should suffice. Wow, totally different angle on this thing now. Wonderful. Okay, so with the Kayaks to Fish Next Gen 11.5, when you buy it, okay, comes with the handles and also comes with this well at the front. That's what happens when you transport things. All right, so where are my fins for the foot pedals? There we go. All right. That goes in there, okay, and then why is it not? I can't believe that it's not letting me read my own chat. That's better. Okay. Yeah, it is. It's the first nice day we've had for quite a while, and even yesterday it started off okay, but as expected, the wind kicked in pretty quickly. So, right. Morning, Cal. Hello, bud. All right, now let me get the Outriggers out, and then I'll give you all the tour of the kayak. Okay, so the next gen, oh wow, that's exactly right. Now the next gen 11.5, when you buy it, okay, obviously comes with a seat. Now you've got the next gen tackle tray under here. So with the seat, you've got three slots in here that the seat keys into, and also keys back into the mounts on the track in here, okay? And then that way you can position the seat in the position that suits your leg length, okay? So let me just get this on here now. Phil, good morning, bud. Okay. That one's going to go in there for me because I've got long legs. There we are. Okay. So that's the seat fitted, ready to go. Now, you also get this fantastic Kayaks to Fish two-piece paddle that you can adjust to suit your body type. Okay, that'll go in there. Now this is where the pedal system goes. You put that in last, okay? Now this is the rudder system here. That's where the rudder system has been pulled up for transport. When you go to use it, you release that and it drops the rudder system down. I'll try and show you that later. Right, now, let's see how we go with this. This is meant to work. Not a chance. No. That's our lithium battery. Phil, hope you're having a good day. Now, this is just a 12 ampere hour lithium battery that I bought just to tie me over until our proper batteries turn up from Kayaks to Fish. The Echo Sounder that I use draws 0.68 amps an hour. So over 12 ampere hours, that means we'll get 17.91 hours of use out of the Echo Sounder. That's going to stay there. Right, transom mount. That is probably going to be the new phone mount, although in effect I should really put the transducer there so it's out of the water. We'll figure that out in a second. These are the things that you do on the fly as you go, people. Now, we can only use one rod at a time. So now these are the Railblazer mount systems from New Zealand. Okay, that's the new Railblazer mounts, right? And these key in to the tracking system that comes with the Kayaks to Fish Next Gen 11.5. Fantastic innovation. Right, and as you can see, I can pick the kayak up with that, so they're as strong as an ox. Okay. Now, excellent. Right. Now, what I've got here is I have a Railblazer side mount for the transducer, and then I have the flat mount for the Echo Sounder. So, as you can see, very, very easy systems to install and to use. Okay. So these are as simple as that, popping in there for the Echo Sounder. Now that's locked in, I can pick up the kayak with that. And this is where the Echo Sounder is going to be going. Okay. So that will be going in there like so. Right. Now just give me a second. I've got to get this organised now. Just checking that there's no heat coming through on that. Oh, a little bit. This is the problem when you're out in a kayak, and if your modem starts to overheat, you've got nowhere to go with it, you know. Right, now excellent, excellent, excellent. Great. That's going to come here. Now I've got a couple of secrets of the trade that I need to hide. Don't take this the wrong way. I'll be back in about 3 minutes. All right, we'll just sit there. Okay. Just leave that there. Right, let's get that on there. Oh, no. That on there. Right, just give me a second. I've just got to put one more thing on the roof, people, and then we're away, okay? All right. Something like that, mate. Right, excellent, that's fantastic. Okay, I'll be putting the camera back in a second, people. All right, we're nearly ready to go, everyone. Just chuck that in there. Chuck that in there. Get the outriggers on, get our fishing gear in here, and we're away. Excellent. Now that should bring our speed up to scratch. Pardon the pun. All right, good. Rightio. Okay, now let's get into this again. All right, people. So now what we're going to do is just set up everything and get ready to go out on the water, and away we go. Now, right, there's one, there's two. I think what we should really do is get the Outriggers on here. One for there. Right, I'll show you that in a sec. Oh, don't do it. Rightio, there we go. Now let's get the Outriggers done. Alright, so with the Outriggers, it's quite simple. Once you assemble your Outriggers, you have this stainless steel screw with the head on it there, okay? Now as you can see, this is marine grade aluminium, okay, that's keyed in. It only goes in a certain way. So that goes in, then you push it to here, right? And what it is, there's a hole that I've drilled in the support bar, and then what you do is you screw that in here, okay? And then that locks into a rivet that's already in the hull of the kayak, right? And as Dennis Cometti would say, centimetre perfect, all right? So that goes in there, and that way we've got this extra stability. We're going to be putting another set on the front as well, right? And then on this side here, okay, we have the other one, right? Now look, just as a point of interest, I have that at the back, right, with this pointing at the front, all right? Once again, that keys in a certain way, like that. There we are. That keys into the rivet that's already in the hull, and that's how easy these Outriggers to put on, okay? What do I normally do? Come on, bud. I just leave these connected and have the bar ready to go. It just saves a bit of extra time. Okay, well, you can't really see anything there. Sorry about that. There we go here. That's probably a bit better. Yep. So that keys in. Right, and this just gives you that added stability, okay? When we put the ones on the front, that way we'll be able to go out in the ocean and start, you know, doing our fishing out deep sea. Now, let me get all this sorted now. Right, we'll swap that back. To there, right. Okay, now we can bring this right in here now. Excellent. Alrighty. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off and grab the transducer and also the what do you call it? The going to grab the transducer and then also the sounder unit itself. Now this is the kayaks to fish pedal system that locks in, okay? You put this on last, because if I was to try and put that on there, and started slamming it on sand and dirt and all that sort of stuff, you'd create damage to the fins. So just wait till you're out in the water. It just simply pops in and away you go, okay? Now, let's go and get this sounder and the fishing gear and we're away. Oh, right. Now, the Garmin Echo Sounder is also available from Kayaks to Fish, people. Now, I'll just give you the rundown. This is the 7-inch Garmin, okay? With the 7-inch Garmin, okay, this does not have inbuilt maps, right? You need to buy the 9-inch or up from there, okay? And this one has the side scan on it, all right? I don't think the smaller units have the side scan. You've got to go to the 7-inch like we've done here to get the side scan. So let's just put that in there somehow. Why is that not slotting in? Come on, bud. Great, that'll go in there now. So that's the unit set in there, right. That's the Echo Sounder. Okay, in there. It'll go in like that. What have I done here? No, that's not right. Hang on. There we go. That's it. Getting old, people. I'm forgetting how to do stuff. No. No, hang on. Yeah, that's it there. And that's it there. Now, let's have a look. I'm pretty sure that clips into there. So then how does that alter if dear. Fallen Angel, hello mate, how are you, bud? Yeah, it's nice for a change when things work, even though it takes an hour and a half to get there, you know? So that's got to go like that for that to work. Hang on. What have I done here? Yep, that's right. That's right, that's right. That's right. That was the mount that I used for this. I must have used the wrong mount, I think. Yeah, that's right. I used the mount from the transducer for the camera, people. So, yep. Need to get that sorted. Hang on. Come on. Thank you. There we go. That goes in there. Okay. Right, that's better. That's right. So that goes in there. That was where the confusion was from. Right. Bring that in here, like so. Yep, I couldn't figure out why I couldn't, that's right, because I used that for the phone. I need to get another one of these from Vic. Okay, so, yep, so we just leave that there like that, and when we're ready to go in the water, that's when we'll connect it. Now, okay, so what do we got here? Now with these mounts on the Garmin, only certain mounts go into certain fittings at the back. So if they look like they're not working, don't force them because you've got the wrong one in there, okay? Especially in low light situations, all right? So basically what we've done now is that's the two cables for the transducer, right? And the one that I have here, okay, this is for power. Right, so that's a single one that always goes on the far right hand side, okay, like that. Then this goes in here like so, like that. So red to positive there, and then that to there. Come on, bud. Like that, and now we have power for the Echo Sounder. Obviously we're not going to turn it on because the transducer is not in the water, okay? And that's what you don't want to do because that's how you can like blow your transducer, okay? So, hey Sean, how are you, bud? No fallen angel, she is at home, so. Right. Excellent. So finally we've got that sorted. Right. Now I'm going to make this the new mount for reading chat in there. Like that. Great. The other thing is too, if we've got the right camera angle, I can also use that to put the phone that we're filming on, but I don't like that angle. I find it a little bit too close to the water. So there we go. That's in there. Now we bring that here, like so, like that. Okay, that goes in there, and voila. That's our mount for the phone to read chat and do other stuff. And that's as simple as doing this, people. You just screw that on there, Right, like that. Come on, get in there. There we go. And then the phone comes out, like so. Okay, oops, come on. And away we go, like that. Okay, and then that way I can read chat from there and actually get a better view of what's going on. Awesome. So, as you can see, with what we're doing, okay, very spacious kayak, plenty of room for accessories. The good thing about this is too, this kayak is virtually hands-free, because what I can do is I can paddle with the foot pedals and steer with this as I'm belting along. So the actual paddle that you have here, you don't really use that much. So just excuse me for a second while I just do a little bit of fine tuning. Right, I'm just going to put our battery supply for the day in, and then we're away. We'll get the fishing gear on here. Looking forward to a great day of kayaking and putting this wonderful vessel through its paces. So let's get that in there. And I mean, if it is cool enough today, what I'll do is I might even put this phone here down here, if you know what I mean. So that way we'll have a actual vision of what we're doing. So, but usually when you've got it higher up like that, you do see a lot more, if you know where I'm coming from. Now, right, so soft plastics in here, like so. We're going to have one at the back, okay, like that. There. So what I've done, people, I've pre-rigged a little hard-bodied lure for brim and also the soft plastics there for brim. When we get down to the Mulloway water, we'll swap over to slightly bigger lures, and away we go. Leave that in there. Excellent. Rightio, let's just grab some fishing gear and we'll be away. Excellent, really looking forward to this. Cloudy day, we won't have too much sunlight. Great. Leave these to dry. Let me bring this up. That's going to cut our fishing line. Now, this little tackle tray underneath the seat, it's a bit of a godsend, because what you can do here, right, see that? You just slide that out and you can put a multitude of gear in here. So I've got scissors. Streamer's best friend is tape, much like a farmer with their string. Right, and we're away. So let me just get this down here now. of bottles of water, and we're away. Awesome. Get my old faithful hat, the good luck hat as I like to call it. And we're nearly ready to go, people. So I'll give you a look on the final setup before we shoot off. Okay. Right, so let's just chuck a couple of water bottles down there. Because we're using soft plastics and lures, I've got some varying poundages of fluorocarbon. I've got 8, 10, 12, 16 and 30. That should be enough to cover all fishing situations today. Right, now the other thing is too, right, have got a box of soft plastics here. I'll chuck that in there. I'm going to put the water bottle in the back of the yak in a second. Now the good thing too, these are a really well designed kayak for a multitude of reasons. Right, and you know, in here we have the side pockets for tackle just down through here, which I'll show you in a second. Right, and basically everything's secure in the kayak. Now it's just a question of getting out on the water, right, and see if we can catch some fish and put this through its paces, which is exactly what we intend to do today. So I'm just going to go and grab a couple of cables so I can charge that phone. We're away. That should be plenty, I think. That's a metre. And that's a metre. Yep, good work. Take a spare mount. Is that longer? Let's have a look. Yeah, that's data transfer. So it's not really ideal for what we're doing. Right. Another catch of the battery packs. I'll try and keep them dry. Excellent, we're away. Perfectly done. They go in there. Spare mount, spare cable. That will go in there. This will now go in here. Right, which will go in. Excuse me for a second. And we're just about ready to go, people. Excellent. Now, that's that one there, right. Check that phone's charging. It certainly has, mate. Why is that not charging? You're kidding, right? That's better. Now that's charging. Excellent. Excellent. Let's get the right angle now before we go out. So we sort of wanted it at that angle because we want everyone to see what we're doing in front of the kayak, not behind it. Okay, so this needs to go away. Can I turn that in there or not? Okay. Okay. Let me just test that for a second. Keys, wallet and phone in the front, like so, and we're ready to go. That's to hang on to trees. Excellent. Lovely. Right, so that's that's there. Right, so is that still charging? Let me just check that. Yep, that's still charging, which is what we want. Right, I'll have to do a little check every half hour. How are you, mate? Yeah, it's good to have a good setup, if you know what I mean, and just got to make sure that's going to show everything in front of us, which is good. Let's bring chat back. Hey, come on, need to see chat. Oh, YouTube, not now, please. That's better. All right, so I've got one at the front there. I'm going to leave that here at the back. That's going to be at the back there. No, that's the one, that's the full one. Right, most of the weight's in the back where everything is. Great. Now, I'm going to pop that because that's going to need to drain if we get any water in the yak. Right. And one last check, we'll make sure the bung's in. Okay. Right, well people, this is it, our first full fishing trip in the yak. So let's hope that it all works out. I don't think we're going to get any fish today because we don't have the ideal fishing conditions. We've got a falling tide, got a howling moon. So, right, there we are. That's in there. All right, we've got the right angle on the camera. That looks pretty good for the front of the kayak. Excellent, we're away. Let's go, old girl. Come on. Beautiful. Just do one quick check. Yep. Absolutely dry as a bone in there. All right, crew. Right, we're away. Nearly. Echo sounder, let's just make sure that's all sorted. All right, that goes in there like that. Great. Power on. There we go, beautiful. Garmin's working well. Just give me a second, I'm just going to sort out the system, people. All right, let's go. The transducer is disconnected. What? Hang on. Okay. Why is the transducer disconnected? I didn't cut the coax, did I? I don't think I did. That's better. Okay, so we've got a good angle. Oh, hang on. That's not a good angle though. On the phone in the mount there. 0.3 of a metre, that's right. Yep, that's it there. That's charging. All right, good. Now, let me have a look. 0.4, 0.5. So we're just going to drop the rudder. So that's dropped. Ah, beautiful. Like silk. Excellent. All right, that's ready to go. Now, let me just change this screen for a second. Range, auto, frequency. No, that's a bit too... Let's go 200 hertz. Yep. Gain, let's have a look. No, we don't want too much gain. I'll bring that down to 30% so it just shows the fish. Beam width, no. Let's go. No zoom. Sonar setup. Depth line show. Okay. Let's go back and back. Good. So what I've got here, okay, is I've just turned down the gain on the transducer so that I don't pick up all the clutter and that sort of stuff. Right. I've just put in the these foot pedals are a great system. As soon as you start using them, the kayak just wants to go, okay? So what I'll do, people, is I've got the front of the kayak. Hey there, UKC Fishing with Big Dan. How are you, mate? So what I've got is I've got the front of the kayak. What I want you to do is just see a bit of the scenery and that sort of stuff. When we stop, eventually, we're going to stop for a break once we get further downstream, and then I'll get the camera out off the thing, and I'll just show you... off the mount, sorry, and then I'll show you the different features of the kayaks, okay? Of the kayak, sorry. But as you can see, this is a fantastic vessel. We've got everything on here. Of course, you can't control natural conditions, and as I said, the conditions are not the best for, you know, fishing today. So what I'll do is, I'll get in the yak for a start. Right, let's put that back through there. Okay, I'll get in the yak, and then we'll actually start pedaling. But what I might do while we're here, actually, because once we get in the groove with the fishing, it's going to be a bit difficult. So do this, right? So what we've got here, people, this is the yak ready to go. So that's the hatch that comes with the kayak that I've got my key, my phone, and my wallet in, okay? That's the foot pedal system. There we've got the sounder reading 0.4 of a metre. That's the phone mount where I'm reading chat. Rail Blazer rod mount, made in New Zealand, fantastic product, as with most New Zealand products, okay? That's our little hard-bodied lures box. That's the little soft plastic box. So with this, it's got a little neoprene type elastic sort of strap in there. This is where the seat is. Okay, underneath that we've got the tackle tray. That's the left outrigger, that's the right outrigger, and you can't see it, okay, but underneath the kayak there, we've got the rudder system. You can just see the fin there, okay, underneath. That is controlled by this. So as I said, with these kayaks to fish kayaks, the next gen 11.5, nothing's been left to chance. So as I pedal with that, I actually steer with this. It controls the rudder at the back. So basically I've got a hands-free kayak. I can pedal and steer and fish as I go along if I want to, okay? So that's just a fantastic product, and that's also just fantastic design from the people that have designed these kayaks. So what I'm gonna do is, just gonna bring this here now, and just bump that up against there. Right, bring the phone in here and have it in the correct mount. Bring that in there. Is that charging? Come on, mate, charge. Not charging. These are the dilemmas of live streaming, people. You've got to make sure your equipment's working, otherwise there's no live stream, you know. No? That's really weird. Why is that not charging? Oh dear, we'll worry about that in a second. Okay, we've got a little spot down there where we can park. We'll paddle for half an hour and then just see how it goes. But, you know, as per normal, that's the expensive battery pack that I bought. I'm just going to pull the rudder up and make sure that the battery pack's charging, okay, before we take off. Okay, because we don't want to be on a really good moment on the kayak and then have to, you know, like lose that moment. So just give me a second. All right, I've just pulled the rudder up there. I'll just take the foot pedals out. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's not very strong in there. I'm a bit concerned about that, but we'll sort that out in a minute. Just what I need to do there. That's better. Right, now what's going on here? Why is it not charging? That's better. Great. Right, we've got the right angle now. Now we've got everything charging, so we can go. Alright, let's go. Come on. Once again, a little bit of tape does wonders. Excuse me. And if it gets too difficult with the phone not charging, we'll just swap it down to the mount down there. Right, that's good. Still got that, good. Let's get that in there. Yeah, like I've always said, people, you know, fishing's one thing and streaming fishing is another one altogether, you know. So anything that can possibly go wrong will. You've just got to always prepare for the worst. Right. Now, I don't want to put that on the mount because that will impede it. Let's not do that. Right. Okay, that's good. We're good to go, I think. But I'm sure something will happen along the way. That's live streaming, isn't it? Yeah, the difficulty associated with this is, yeah, next to none. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good idea, Scotty. This is pretty good, mate. We've got the Outriggers on this too, which helps immensely. So, right, let's get that in there. Right, there you go, bud. Lovely. Come on, swing around. Ah. Hopefully we get out in the water by lunchtime. Rightio. Foot pedals in there. Like so. Excellent. Sounder on. Now, did it save my settings? It's a good sounder that does that when it saves your settings. Of course it didn't. Range, auto, frequency, no zoom, beam width, gain. I don't want auto. Right. Much better. Now, let me just get this on here. Right, we want side view and traditional clear view. Where are we? Traditional and side view. Lovely. All right, so what we've got is we've got everything underneath the kayak, right? And then as well as everything that's underneath the kayak, we've got a side view that's showing both sides of the river. Okay, it is a bit of cheating, but you know, that's how that goes, I guess. So currently we're in 0.7 meters of water. Right, let's get that there. Okay, that can go down through there. And now we just have to get on. All right. And we've got the 455 kilohertz as well. Absolutely nothing in the water at all. That's how our luck goes, I guess. So I'm just gonna reduce the size of this. Bring that down through here, like so. And we're gonna be away soon, people. Let's go. All right, let's get that in there. Let's get that in there. Oops, hang on. Phone, just checking everything, making sure that's all connected. Good work. Let's go. All right, we're in. Lovely. Beautiful. Let's just get away from the shore here now. All right, so we're already in 1.8 meters of water. Right, I'm just going to go out with the paddle. Right, going to point this down here, put my feet in the pedal system, and we're going to be away, people. Cannot wait. Oh, there we go. Oh, hang on. Rudder system is go. Fantastic. This is a bit easy. So now I'm just going hard right while I'm pedaling. And then, tell you what, this rudder system is instant, people. Absolutely instant. I don't even need to use a paddle. So as you can see, what I've done is I've just maneuvered around that tree. So when you push down on the rudder system, you go right, and when you lift it up, you go left, and in the middle is obviously straight. I'm just going to hang out on the right-hand side of the river. We're in 4.5 meters here, okay, and we're currently doing 4 knots. That's pretty good. It's the same old story. Hey, Noopy Kiosk, how are you, bud? Oh. Now, what's the picture like? Is the clarity good? It's not too erratic when we're belting along? Tell you what, people, a lot of people make the mistake of spending a lot of money on really expensive gear. I don't know whether to show off or they believe the hype or whatever, right? But when this kayak came out, I think the rec retails $3,000. Oh, excellent, mate. Rec retails about $3,000. They had the initial offer of $21.99 on the website, but you'll have to double check that. I think they sold out actually. How easy is this? How easy is this? Now the good thing about this too, people, is what we're going to do is we're going to be able to see parts of the river and fish parts of the river that we haven't fished or seen before. Okay, now the first thing that we'll notice about this kayak is it's a lot quieter than a boat. So I'll give you the example. So I can point here, right, and I can aim for a spot. Just say I want to go in underneath here, right? I can cut my foot pedals, and then I can steer with the paddle, right? There's no outboard, there's no nothing. Okay, and I can just drift into spots, right, like so. And of course, because it's currently heading downstream with the current, I'm actually working with the waterway. The side scan is picking up all the snags with the structure. First cast, beautiful cast. Gonna let that hit the bottom. How easy is this? The other thing is too, people, in a kayak, you have a far more intimate fishing experience, you know, and don't get me wrong, you know, obviously boats have their place and they're fantastic, okay, but in rivers and that sort of stuff and little inlets and that sort of thing where, you know, you've got to be quite stealthy, which is something that I'm not normally associated with, right? Anything that can be an advantage to you, right, works in your favour, doesn't it? So, got my rod there. Let's just head down here now. Okay, there is a little strap on the side that you can put your paddle on. Right, okay, here, like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the paddle on there. Okay, and now let's just enjoy the view. What we're going to do is we're going to work our way down to the open water where we were catching mulloway last year. Oh, this is a bit easy. A bit spoilt here. Once again, a big shout out to Kayaks to Fish. Thank you very much for the privilege of promoting such a fantastic product. Okay. This is just off the charts. If you had told me something like this was available 10 or 12 years ago, I would have thought that you were smoking something, but this is just fantastic. The good thing about it is too, I mean, I'll show you how responsive this rudder system is, okay? So I'm now going to do a hard left, then I'm going to do a hard right, okay? And the kayak literally starts moving straight away, okay? That's going to be handy when we go out in the ocean with it, maybe by the weekend. All right, so there's... See, I didn't even know that there was structure there, and yet the Echo Sounders found it. Apparently, in some tournaments in America, people, they've banned side scan on Echo Sounders because it's a real game changer, you know, with the fishing. Hence, I went out and bought one as quickly as I could. Right. Oh, this is just, seriously, I've never been in a Rolls Royce, but I think if I ever did, it would be a feeling, well, obviously if it was a Flintstones Rolls Royce, as I'm using my feet, but in terms of how we're like travelling down the river, this is just absolutely off the charts. We've just... underneath stealth is in the dictionary is a picture of all the Kayaks to Fish kayaks. I'm giving you the tip. Look at this, people. Right. 3.5 metres. Okay. So, interesting. 3.5 metres, 3 metres. So we're coming into shallows. That must mean that there's a creek in here somewhere where it's coming up. Let's see if we can find one. .3 meters. Obviously the only thing that you have to worry about in a kayak is other boats, you know. But I mean, look at this, people. I would never ever be able to get into these spots from the shore. But now that we have the kayak, and I mean, this is hands-free, okay? I mean, I'm just belting along nice and casually, okay? Just steady, steady. This pedal system from Kayaks to Fish is sensational, okay? All right, so this is a shallower section of the river. I'll show you where the side scan on this echo sounder really comes into its own, people, right? And as I said, we've got a falling tide, so we've actually got a little bit of help heading down to the ocean. We are a long way from the ocean, but that's okay. Wanted to get the kayak legs today, if you know what I mean, for want of a better word. There's so much space in this thing, it's unbelievable. When you're a big bloke like myself, right, you appreciate anything that makes things comfortable for you. Now, right, 1.9 meters. Just need to head out. So this is flats. In some rivers down south, right, you would get whiting. If you find the spots that are shallow with the sand, you'll get whiting. Okay, so this narrows up now. We've gone back to 3.8. So there must be a creek or something down there. .7 meters. Oh, this is lovely. We're just cruising along. Now, when we get out in the ocean, it's going to be a totally different ball game. You tend to get worried if you see a fin that's taller than the echo sounder, you know. But we'll worry about that when we get to it. Okay. Now, up ahead, I don't know whether you can see this, but we've got a bridge, okay? If you live in a metropolitan area in any of the cities around Australia, or even in some of the country areas and that sort of stuff, where you've got the bridges that cross the like the waterways, right? Okay, a side scan on an echo sounder will make your life a hell of a lot easier, because you can go down between the pylons on the bridges, right, and know exactly what's going on, you know. I don't like coming out here on busy days like weekends and that sort of stuff, because you've got boats everywhere. They don't stick to the speed limit. They make massive wakes in the river. Okay? So I'm just steady cruising along at 4 knots, which is fantastic. I'm loving this. Right. Lovely. Now, would you like me to drop the camera so that we can see a little bit of the foot pedals working, and also it's back upstream, Scotty, but there is another one further down from memory, but we'll go and have a look, bud, because that's going to be a great backwater in the summer for big fish. But it was actually, I think, to the right of where we were. Right, just give me a second. Now, What am I doing here? Alright, let's go to menu, change active, traditional sonar menu. Auto, that's better. Back, back, back. Much better. Right, okay, so